I am an emotion code, body code, and belief code practitioner. I'm also an alignment coach, which means that really I believe that there is an emotional root cause behind chronic conditions. And this podcast is a continuation of that, and it brings the message that healing yourself naturally is possible. Without further ado, let me introduce you to our guest today, Marian Egan. Marian, so lovely to have you here.
Oh,
Welcome.
thank you so much, Ina. It's nice to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Before we get started, let me tell the viewers a little bit about you. So let's see. Marianne provides solution to physical, emotional, and mental pain, and her mission is to empower people to heal themselves. Qualified in 8 professional modalities, is a holistic practitioner for 30 years, 30 plus years. Marianne founded Heart Art Magic in 2010, painting from the subconscious to help release physical, emotional, and mental disharmony. Is the healing modality, personal healing card decks, painted images on one side, and a message and a frequency number on the reverse side. And yes, I am very excited to talk about all of this. So, Marianne, after this, we're all on the same card, on the same, not on the same card, but on the same page. Let's get started.
Yes.
Tell us more about you.
Okay. Well, I suppose, first of all, I came into the healing world because I needed healing enough. I mean, I was suffering for most of my life because of a trauma that I experienced at age 8. And I could not go on feeling the way I was feeling, so that's why I started down this route. So it was to heal, to get relief from the emotional and mental anxiety that I was suffering from, So I watched my 3-year-old brother being fatally killed by a double-decker bus at age 8. And I blamed myself for that because I was minding him that day and I didn't keep him safe, So I grew up with that. And 3 months earlier, I was playing with my best friend, Derek, and he was fatally killed by a double-decker bus that day. So it was a huge amount. I took on the blame, the shame, the grief, the regret, all of that. And what I know now as a practitioner, is that when you're living in that blame, shame game, you're in that beta frequency. Now, the beta frequency is running the cortisol hormone, the hormone cortisol, which will keep the pain circuit running. It will keep you feeling down and feeling negative. And what I've since learned is you can shut that cortisol hormone off and come into the alpha, theta, beta, gamma wavelength where natural healing occurs. So once the cortisol is switched off, then the other hormones can come in, like the melatonin, serotonin, dopamine, oxycontin, all of those healing hormones. That's what they're within us. But our thoughts and our feelings can shut them off. So when people are listening, if you are feeling negative and speaking negative and thinking negative, that's what you will be running. So by changing your thoughts, by changing how you feel, you can change the hormone selection in your body. And it's a wonderful, natural self-healing, but a lot of people don't know that. So I'd like to bring that to their attention. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think what you're saying is very interesting because a lot of the time, we know how we feel, right? I feel down, I feel low, I feel depressed. We say these kind of things, but we don't necessarily recognize that there is something that we can actually do about it.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is actually, yes, there is a way. Just be aware of where you are. Know that this is now in the better state, and now let's see how we can raise our vibrations. So
Yeah.
what should we do?
Well, what I do now is, when I hear myself talking negatively or thinking negatively, I kind of go, okay, stop. That's a command. And when you say stop, you're subconscious. And when you say it, your body hears what you're saying. And if you're saying, stop, I don't want to feel like this anymore, then just go back to a time when maybe you stubbed your toe and you broke your heart laughing because it was idiotic, or you fell over, or you saw something funny, or you saw a funny movie. Go to a time and a place where you were laughing about something, or someone, or some movie, or something, a comedy, or whatever, or something somebody said that made you, tickled you pink. So when you start running that program in your mind, then that's when you're shutting off that negativity, and then you're opening the doorway to the harmonious healing that your body can do for you. So when you keep running these wonderful thoughts and feelings, that's when you start that. Because when you think, your thoughts emit an electrical signal. Your body, your feelings, they emit a magnetic signal. So that's where we are, electromagnetic. So what you think about, you bring about. So if you're thinking happy, funny, that's your feelings are going to change in accordance with that. So that's how you can stop what's happening in your body and start the healing process. And it's amazing. It really is amazing when you start doing it. But you just need to be aware of, sometimes you don't even think or notice what you say or notice what you think. But your thinking is so powerful. When you say it, your body, your subconscious cannot. Here's a really wonderful thing. Your subconscious cannot reject what you think about. So if you create a picture in your mind, and it can be an imaginary picture, it can be an imaginary place, your subconscious, as far as it's concerned, is in that place. It does not know that you're sitting in the chair in your sitting room or at your kitchen table. It has no idea. It has to accept, and it cannot reject your thoughts. So you are the master of your own destiny. You are the conductor, and your body is the orchestra.
So I always say that to people, and they find it a little bit strange, I guess, because I always say, we usually say, right, don't lie, but when it comes to your subconscious mind, lie, as much as you can, really, because like you say, the subconscious mind take commands, and if we keep on running the same kind of negative stream, then that's what it's going to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't know, right? It doesn't know what is the truth, and it needs the command to know how to move forward. So lying, instead of saying I'm feeling miserable and I'm having a really bad day, say I'm having a wonderful day, and and it's a wonderful day, it's a wonderful sunny day or whatever.
Yeah, even if it's snowing outside.
Exactly. I love snow, so yes, but it is really interesting. Because I'm having the same kind of conversations with my clients, and one question that comes up a lot is, if I only just change the way that I speak to myself and the messages that I give my subconscious mind, would that be enough? Can I override, well, there is that book, right? The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And he's basically the guy, Joseph Murphy, I think his name is. And he keeps saying, right, just repeat, I trust, I heal, I'm okay, all of that. And at some point, your body will start healing yourself.
Yeah.
Is that your experience as well?
Well, it's a good it is a good modality to have, because if you keep running the same program, if it's a good program, you're changing how you're feeling, because your thoughts will change how you feel. Mm-hmm. And that's why getting out in nature, if you can go out in nature, the power of nature is very healing. The other thing I would suggest people do is do what you love. The way they say exercise is really good for you. Okay. I mean, the best form of exercise, do you know what the best form of exercise is?
No.
The best form of exercise is the one that you will do. Right? It's the one that you will do. It's the one that you like. There's no point in asking me to go swimming. I can swim. I don't like it, so I don't do it, And it might be a really good form of exercise, but I'm not going to do it. Ask me to go out on my bike now and I'll go for miles. I just love cycling. So that's my exercise. If I can't get out on my bike, I use my trampoline, my rebounder at home, or I have a static bike, And one thing that's what people are getting to know what I do now is when I'm on my trampoline, I actually knit when I'm on my trampoline, or crochet when I'm on my trampoline. It brings a whole new connotation to the word jumper, right? So, because this, what I've created here now, what I wear my own creations, and that's what I do when I'm on the trampoline, but I just love it, but the best form is the one that you will do. So knitting for me is my meditation. I love the creation of it. I love to see, even with something like this, I wondered, would this work? And it did, so I'm very lucky that way. But then here's the other thing too. When your body when you've got pain in your body, right, your muscles tighten, your ligaments and tendons tighten, and that's tension, right? So tension will bring pain into your body. And T is for tension. So what do you get when you put T at the end of pain, Enough?
Paint.
Exactly. And that's my other hobby. So when I painted, and when I paint from the subconscious, which is why I'm the founder of Heart Art Magic. Now, the reason I call it Heart Art Magic, the heart is, I'm painting what I'm feeling, right? So it's coming from my heart center. The magic is an acronym for my ability to go into my center, because that's where the magic happens. What I didn't realize, Ina, is that we actually have the answers to our own healing within ourselves. But sometimes we're so busy looking outside of ourselves that we don't realize it's in here.
I think that, to me, that's the key to everything. When people come to me and they're all external about what people said and how they treated them and how they made them feel and all of that, and I always say that actually it's not external at all. I say that the universe just amassed these people and this experience for you, so that you can bring in from your inside and look inside and look internally and see what it is that you're bringing to all of this. And here you are saying, actually, we go further than that. All of the answers that you actually need, it's always about yourself, including how to heal yourself.
Yeah, because if somebody says something about you, right, and you feel put down by that, nobody can make you feel bad. You make yourself feel bad, maybe by what they say. So it's how you're feeling within yourself, but they've ignited that feeling within you to make you feel bad. So nobody can make you feel bad. You feel bad yourself, by yourself, all by yourself, But they were the instigator of you sparking that. So if you instigated it, equally, you can delete it. So there's the magic, And when you start that awareness and you understand, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I could be this powerful within me. And, if you want people to wish well of you, don't speak ill of yourself. You are good enough. You love yourself by yourself. Self-love is the most powerful healing magic that you can have. And, that's one of the reasons why I wrote my book back in 2010, was because I grew up hating who I was because of what happened to me when I was 8, And I had to learn to like myself. I had to learn to love myself. I could not understand, how did my husband love me when I didn't like who I was? How could anybody like or love me when I couldn't do it? So I had to change myself in order to change the outcome.
Wait, you said something, and I wanted to I wanted to touch on that. So the things that you're saying, yes, self-love and self-acceptance, and also trusting that you have the healing powers and the power to change. People know it intellectually.
Yeah.
Well, some people know it intellectually. At least a lot of the people that I meet, they know it intellectually, but they don't know how to then integrate that, how to bring self-love, how to bring self-care, how to get in touch with these healing powers within.
Yeah. I think a good practice, and I found very difficult, but a good practice is to stand in front of a mirror and look at yourself. I remember being at a meeting one time, and the director of the company I'm working with as well, he read out a poem called "The Man in the Mirror," but it's this length, right? But he read out this much.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, but I was making a business decision which was going to change my life. And before I got to speak to him about my business decision, he said about the man in the mirror, he said, go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on your back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you cheat on the man in the glass. So looking in the mirror, liking what you see, even if you don't like what you see, just say to yourself, I like myself. I like myself. And then you change that to, I love myself. I love myself. I deserve to be happy. And when you keep doing that practice, then because you're looking at yourself, you can see who you are and what you represent. And when you're changing those markers within yourself, then the change starts to happen. I mean, the name of my book, I called it Love to Change, then Change to Love.
I like what you're saying, that it's a process. You allow people to, you're meeting them where they're at. Start where you are, where a lot of people, they would say, oh, I can't even bear to look at myself in the mirror. And actually you're saying, just sit with it for a minute and slowly, progress from liking to, from accepting to liking to loving, and, also talking about deservedness, which of course is another, thing for people. And then, yes, the change, the love, change who you love.
Love to change, then change to love. Yeah. And, I actually worked many years. I worked for so many years with Dr. Wayne Topping, and he wrote a book called What Makes You Tick is What Makes You Sick.
I haven't heard about this book. How is this connected to here? What is he saying?
Well, what you think about, you bring about. So if you're thinking good things, you'll feel good. If you're thinking negative things, you'll feel down. So basically, you are the. Okay, so here's the other thing that I discovered personally. I made myself ill because, as I said, when I was 8, I had that trauma. When I was 12, I was knocked down by a car, right? I don't remember, even to this day, I have no memory of it because it wiped my memory totally. I woke up in the hospital and people were around my bed, 2 of whom were my parents. I didn't know them. And when I did recover, they brought me home to a house full of 6 siblings. I didn't know them. I was totally lost, I didn't know them, but even I didn't know me, And but I still was running the blame game and shame and grief and regret, Now at what stage I remembered that, I don't know, because that to me is still, it's a full movie. I can run that anytime and remember exactly what happened that day, because I saw my brother go under the wheels of a bus. And but at age 14, my appendix ruptured and burst, and I nearly lost my life. But that was because I was running that cortisol hormone all the time. My body was in such a state. That's what happened, And so, well, another trauma that happened, but sometimes traumas can be a turning point, so a turning point in your life. I was knocked down again when I was 35. Now, at this stage, I'm a mother of 3. And I happened to be on my bike that day, and I met a neighbor, and she had just come home from hospital. She had just given birth to her 2nd son, and she had her 1st son with her, and he was, the same age as my brother was. and we were both knocked down by a car. Now, luckily, the toddler wasn't hit by the car. And as soon as I could get myself up off the ground, I went and I picked this little boy up off the ground. And he was hysterical. And it just brought the 8-year-old back to me because he had the same color hair as my brother. But this time I was picking him up off the ground. I could no longer suppress and depress the blame and the shame, because I hid that for all my life. I'd hidden it. I never talked about it. I couldn't talk about it. I would break down if I talked about it. But this time it was like a volcano just erupted within me, and I could no longer suppress it. So in fact, that trauma helped me to start the healing process. And that's when I started to paint. I started painting back then when I was 35. And every time I painted, then I learned how to paint from the subconscious. And when I was painting from the subconscious, what I was doing was I was just meditating. I would take out my paints, I would put my hands into the paint, and I'd paint with my hands. And you can see that on my YouTube channel. I paint with my hands. I never know what I'm going to paint. I have no concept of what's going to come out. But when I paint something, now I have expressed what I was feeling. And the expression is now not in here. It's on the canvas, or it's on the paper that I'm painting on. So those layers and layers of expressing what I was feeling is now outside of me. And that's how heart art magic works. It helps the body to heal as it expresses.
So that's what you're saying. So, of course, I also talk a lot about how we repress emotions and how we create a bottleneck, and then it just basically has to come out somehow.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, journaling is something that we talk about. But what you were saying is really, getting into your subconscious mind, pain, and this is an expression, and the expression also, even if you're not necessarily aware of it, I guess, because it is using your subconscious, it helps to clear. It helps to open up.
Yeah, and the wonderful thing about your subconscious, is that's a total historical record of everything that's happened to you from the day you were born right through. So your subconscious knows what needs healing. So just allow, even if you were to take just a pen and paper or pencil and paper and bring a line for a walk. Doodle. It doesn't have to be painting. It's just expressing. If you're feeling under par, just, think about, okay, I don't want to feel this way. I'm just going to play with something, whatever it might be. But whatever your hobby is, that's your outlet. What you're passionate about, use that as your outlet. For me, it's painting or drawing or knitting or whatever, or cycling or trampolining or whatever it is. But use something that's going to work for you, and just say to yourself, I'm not going to do this to myself anymore. I don't need to feel this bad.
And this is another thing, right? That's the decision to say, actually, enough is enough. I am now aware, even if I'm not aware of everything, even if I don't know exactly, where I'm headed or what shape it's going to take. I'm no longer allowing whatever happened until now to take over.
Exactly. Yeah. You are the master of your own destiny, because if not you, who?
But what do we say to people who said, I've basically tried everything? I tried everything. I guess some of it is internal, some of it is external. I did the meditation, I did the journaling, I went to all of the healers out there.
Yeah.
I tried everything and nothing works.
Okay. Well, I have created this tool, and the tool is, the story behind it was during COVID. My 95-year-old mom got COVID and pneumonia at the same time, and her doctor said, this is a serious situation. This is very serious. And she was already on oxygen 24/7. And to add to that dilemma, my daughter informed me of her cancer diagnosis. And I was devastated. But my daughter wanted me to be her mom, not her therapist. So I made the decision I would do a healing painting for Mom and Jenny every week, which I did. And then during that time, Ina, I got the inspiration to create a card deck. And I said, how on earth do you create a card deck? I had no idea, but I found out how. And within 24 hours, I had found the solution and I found somebody to help me and I did it. So what I have done is I put my images on one side, a message and a frequency number on the other side, and literally I created these. And then I said to myself, well, how do they work? So maybe we could do this as an exercise. Ina, would you like to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so do you have any discomfort in your body that you'd like to get rid of?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'd say to someone is, out of 10, where would you put that discomfort? 10 is the worst it can be. Where would it be at right now?
I guess that interestingly, since we started speaking, I think it's gone down already, and I think I'll put it now at a 3.
3, okay. So would you be happy and willing to let that go?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so what I would, and this is what I say to anybody, and anybody who might be listening, I want you to make the statement, I'm very happy to let this pain go now, and I'm giving myself permission for this to happen right now.
Okay, I'm very happy to let this pain go. And what is it?
I give myself permission for this to happen right now.
And I give myself permission for this to happen right now.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle, because your subconscious now has heard your instruction, it has heard your command, you have given yourself permission, and you are very happy to let this go, okay? So your subconscious knows now, and now we're going to shut off the cortisol hormone and get the healing hormone started, okay? So I've just shuffled my cards, I'm spreading them now, and I am going to just intuitively choose one. And the one that has come out for you is called Supported Empowerment. And I'll read the message. And it's like, this is as if you're speaking yourself, okay? I am receiving the abundance that I used to believe that I did not deserve. I no longer believe I have this limiting belief stored in any of the cells in my body. I have changed my negative belief system, finally and forever. I am open to receiving and accepting all that I deserve on every level of my being, physical, emotional, mental, and financial, and so it is. Okay, so this is the frequency number. Can you write this down? And I want you to...
Can you read it to me? It's showing as mirror image.
322.
Yeah.
331.
Yeah.
3141.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And if you just tap that, just like I'm doing now, on the sternum here on your chest bone, 322 331 3141. And I'm going to do it with you. 322 331 3141. 322 331 3141. 322 331 3141. And I'll do it one last time. 322 331 3141. Now, as I'm speaking to you about this now, your body is now making the change. Now, what's happening is you have tapped this frequency into your body. This frequency is going to start to shut off that cortisol hormone so that the pain circuit can no longer run in a circuit. It stops it, kind of reverses it, and then the healing hormone starts flooding in, okay? So when you install the frequency, that's how it happens. So we've got the image, we've got the message and the frequency number, and also the color of the card is very important because it represents the chakras, the energy centers in the body. So there's 4 healing modalities in each card. So can I ask, does that feel any better than it did right now?
Yeah, it does actually.
Okay, so
it does. It feels like a memory of a discomfort.
So is it totally gone now?
Yeah, I guess the discomfort is there's like a memory. So I guess it's a 0.5.
Yeah.
Before it was a 3.
Will we do one more frequency and eliminate it altogether? Why not?
Yes, let's do it.
So I'm shuffling my cards. Let's spread them and intuitively choose one. Okay, this one is called Perfect Peace. Okay, and it says, lows brings highs, lessons bring blessings, and setbacks bring comebacks. Think back to a time that you felt let down. What positive situation came from that? That would be like when I was knocked down at 35, and the positive situation that came from that allowed me to heal. These events can be blessings in disguise. Helen Keller said, when one door closes, another one opens. We are so focused on the closed door that we cannot see the one that has been opened for us. So notice what changes within you. Okay, so that's kind of symbolizing what we've been speaking about. So this is called Perfect Peace, and the number is 3222433333. Okay, so we're going to tap that in 5 times. That's 3222433333. 3222433333. 3222433333. 3222433333. And last time, 3222433333. Okay. So that 0.5 of a discomfort, where is that at now?
Yeah. Now it's not there anymore.
Yay.
Now it's not there anymore. That is wizardry. What is going on here? How do we understand this?
Okay, and that's a really good question. And it was when I'd say a lot of people know of Dr. Joe Dispenza, right? And his book, Becoming Supernatural. When I read his book and I listened to him on, if you YouTube Dr. Joe Dispenza and listen to him on YouTube, what he says is, like what I said earlier, when you're in that fight-flight mode, when pain is running, cortisol is present. And what I've done with you is I've tapped in the frequency to stop that circuit running. So it's switched off the cortisol hormone, and now the healing hormones of dopamine, serotonin, melatonin, oxycontin. And oxycontin is the love hormone. When a mother is breastfeeding a baby, the oxycontin comes in to allow the milk to flow. It's amazing how, like, the body knows exactly how to heal itself. It has an innate intelligence to do that. But it can only do it when there's no cortisol hormone running in your system. So I feel, when I heard Dr. Joe Dispenza speaking, I said, that's how my cards work. They actually shut off the cortisol hormone and they allow the body to go into the healing hormone. So it's like a little shortcut for people to use, and that's how they work, if that makes sense.
And so what is the difference with the frequencies, with the numbers that you have on each card?
Well, when I when I painted the image, because I've been using frequencies for many years in my practice, and I said to myself, gosh, every image has a frequency. So I had to create a frequency for every image. So the frequency number for this image is this number, and the frequency number for this image is this number, So every image has a different number, which represents the image that I painted. And it just works. And every time I do it, it works. It's so magical. Do you know what I'm so grateful for? I could easily have gotten that inspiration. And if you think about inspiration, the word in spirit, it's coming from somewhere, right? So I acted on the inspiration. Had I not acted on the inspiration, like what was designed for 2 people now is worldwide and is helping more than 2 people. And my decks are in 19 countries now, which is fantastic,
I've got one.
You have one.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it too.
And
but
it works. But that's how it works.
So but what I'm hearing you say is that basically just looking at the image would shift something, because we're looking at the chakras and it helps open them up, and of course then we are more in flow.
Yes.
If we even just did the frequency numbers, that would also help by itself. But here you are combining, like you said, four different things, right? It's the message, the colors, the frequency, and what is the fourth element? Is that the tapping?
The tapping. Well, you've got the image, the color, the message, and the frequency. That's the four. And then tapping them in is probably the fifth one. Yeah. But tapping them into the body, what you're doing there is when you tap them in, you're installing them, and that shuts off the cortisol. The other thing then I get people to do is write the number out on a small piece of paper, right? Mm-hmm. Cover it with tape, and then wear the number on the left side of your body. Turn it from horizontal position to a vertical, and turn the number facing your skin, and just wear it on the left side of your body. And that keeps the frequency flowing, because the energy flows into your body on the left side, and it keeps the frequency running all day. You can take it off at night, but use it every day. And I suggest that when you're doing something, that you do that for 3 weeks, wear the numbers for 3 weeks. Now, I do the cards for myself every day, since the very first day, because I didn't know how my cards worked, and I couldn't ring anyone to ask them how did they work, because I created them. Yes. So what I did was I took an A4 notebook, and I put down number 1 and what my intention was for that day. And every day I chose a number. I am now on journal number 6. I have pulled over 4,000 and so many hundred cards for myself, and I have a record of every intention, why I was writing, what my intention was, what I wanted to achieve. Now, some days it might be just guidance and direction enough, because I'm very lucky now. I am totally pain-free now. And I'm so very blessed to have created something, like I call it my self-healing tool, and to have created something that works and that is helping so many people who just need help right now, But even based on what I said earlier, just even changing your thought pattern will change how you feel, because your thinking impacts your feeling, and your feeling, what you think about, you will bring about.
Yeah, absolutely. So two questions. First of all, I guess with what you just said about writing the intentions, because you would write the intentions and the numbers, whatever came up every day, but every day you would add more numbers to your left-hand side, or no?
No, I would stick with a set of numbers until I felt, okay, that now has done its job, and then I might replace them with a new set of numbers. But no, I don't. I would stick with one set of numbers. So I do, like I have 4 decks now, so I do 1 card from each deck every day for myself. Like I started off with 1 because that's how it, but then I got the inspiration to do the second deck and the third, etc. But so I have 4 frequencies every day. I set my intention. I write down, okay, how can I make the best for myself today and for everyone I meet? And how can I help the healing process for everyone I bring this healing to? And then I choose the cards for myself.
I like this daily ritual. But tell us a little bit also about your mum and your daughter. So
my daughter's doing really, really well. She has moved from Dubai, where she lived when she got her cancer, and she had started her treatment there, and she finished her treatment now in Sweden. She's living in Sweden. She's just recently bought a house there a few months ago, and I went over to visit with her and see where she's living, and I'm so blessed and so grateful that she is wonderfully well. Mum just died before her 97th birthday. But before she passed, she just said to me, Marian, this is not living, this is existing. It was time for her to go, and that's what she wanted. And it was so funny. I said to her, because she saw my first set of cards, obviously she was there for that. And she was saying, God, these are amazing. She said, these are really, more people should know about your cards, Marian, And I said, okay, Mom, But when she said about when she wanted to be cremated. She didn't want to be buried. She wanted to be cremated. And I said, Mum, I said, can I have your permission? I said, if when you're cremated, can I do a painting and put some of your ashes into the painting? So I'll have it as a memorial, to you and for me and for her. And she said, oh gosh, that's lovely. I'd love to do that. So Enough, that's what I did. And I did a painting for all my siblings. And there's a butterfly in the painting, and Mum's ashes are in the butterfly. And it's the monarch butterfly, because Mum was the queen of, so many people loved her. She had a great circle of friends. And so she loved that. But when she did pass, she came to me in a dream. And in the dream, she gave me this massive big hug. And I was so taken back with it. I could actually feel, it was like as if she was physically there hugging me. And I'm out on my bike cycling in the middle of the countryside, and I could feel this hug. So when I came home, I did a painting. And I'm sitting looking at the painting, and I'm saying, okay, I need a name for this. And instantly the name came in, I Dreamed a Dream, which is the deck you have there. Mm. And the next thing, the door to my studio opens, but there's nobody there. And a few seconds later, I get this wonderful hug again. And then I got in my mind, no, there wasn't words, there was no words. It was just a knowing, that's the name of your next card deck, Marian. Mm. So she came to me in a dream, and she was the instigator of the second deck, as she was the instigator of the first deck. So, and the third deck as well. So and 2 nights ago, she came back to me in a dream, and I haven't yet figured out what message she's given me this time.
So it's I wish I could remember my dreams. I know I last night I would go up in the morning knowing that my older brother, who died 14 years ago from cancer, I knew that he was in my dream, and it was very a really lovely familiar feeling. I mean, he comes to visit me a lot. And then my younger brother, who died even a little bit ago, he comes as well. But it's very interesting. It's different energies. Although there's always a party. There's always a really good time.
Yeah.
But I wish I could remember the messages, and I know that they're here to guide me. So.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing because you will get that guidance from them. I'm just so grateful that I have, followed through on my inspiration, and that I have brought something so magical that works so quickly. And every time I do it, just like I've done with you there now, it works, and it's a blessing, really. I'm so grateful, but I'm sharing it too.
Absolutely, I think it's incredible. I love these cards, and I try and open one when I do my healing with people.
Yeah.
Share with us some testimonials and feedbacks or case study of people that use the cards. And
sure. Yeah. And you can actually see this on my YouTube channel. I did a group healing session there last month, and one lady she said, I set my intention for an emotional issue. She said, but the pains of my legs went at the same time. So even though she didn't set it to release the pain, because she resolved the emotional issue, the pains in her legs went,
Mm.
But I was working with a lady there just not so long ago, last month actually, and she's been in pain for 7 years. And she said, Marian, I can't believe, she said, my pain is gone. I've had this pain for 7 years, and it's gone in a few minutes. But not only that, she said, because of the pain going, she had to make a business decision that she made. And she said, normally I would have said no to that, but I said yes. And it opened up a new beginning for her, a new introduction to higher potential clients. So she's very, very grateful. So I could go on and on, about the healing, but there's some testimonials on my YouTube channel, so people can go in and have a look at that if they want to see a few more.
But do you mostly hear from people with chronic pains and stuff like that, or do you also have cases of like chronic illnesses or or stuff like that. So people
Yeah,
can, like
yeah,
people
I
can,
do. I mean, there is a lady who actually, when I decided I would create a card course to teach people how to use my cards. So I created a course, and it's accredited now with the International Kinesiology College Personal Development School. And when I rang this lady, I hadn't spoken to her in about 7 years, and she said, "Marian, why did you ring me just now?" And I said, "Well," I said, "I've created this course, Jane, and I was thinking of you, and I was wondering if you'd like to do it." And she said, "Well, do you know I've been diagnosed with breast cancer?" And I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, "No, I didn't know. I'm sorry." But I said, "Well, look, would you like to come and do the course?" So she lived quite local to me. And so she came here to my practice, and I brought in another lady who has cancer as well. And the two of them did the course together. And at the end of it, she said, "Gosh, Marian," she said, "when I came in here," she said, "I had a pain coming from my armpit right across my chest," because it was breast cancer she had. And she said, "That's vanished. That pain is gone." And I said, "Gosh, that's wonderful." Now, this lady had already stopped her chemotherapy. Now, bearing in mind, if this is not instead of medical intervention, people should always check with their doctors and hospitals, whatever. So this is just an addition to your doctor's advice. But anyway, she had stopped her chemotherapy. And then eventually a few months later, the hospital rang and said, "Look, let's do some scans." And they did a PET scan, ultrasound, and mammogram, and they confirmed her cancer was gone.
this is
So,
incredible.
but the thing is, she did it herself. It wasn't Marian doing it for her. It was Marian teaching her how to do it for herself. So it is empowering people to heal themselves. But, your body has that innate intelligence. But remember, it's not instead of medical advice. It's as well as.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we never tell people, what to do, right? They really have to do
Yeah.
what they need to do. So yeah, I mean, I would never tell anyone to stop the medication or anything
No.
like that. It's
No.
never my intention. But I guess the cancer healing that you just mentioned, we will be talking about that more in the online summit happening middle of January about healing cancer naturally. I'm
Okay.
very excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's really good what you're doing, that you're bringing to, you're letting people know that the body has got this ability. And, that when I look at the 30 plus years I've been in business, like I would have started back in 1985, but officially, it's 30 plus years. And I could tell you story after story of success that people have had. And it was taking the advice that I'm giving them, but they're putting it into practice. So remember the self-command, stop. When you hear yourself saying something negative or feeling negative, and say, "Okay, stop, I've had enough of this. I'm not doing this to myself anymore." Because if we bring on the dis-ease, we can reverse the dis-ease and bring in the ease and the flow and the wonderful feeling of, "Gosh, I can do this. I can do this. It's got to be. It is up to me."
I think this is such an important message to remind people that actually, you can't believe that this is just a body thing, that you're broken, that there's no cure. You can't believe that, but actually, it's exactly the thing. If you were able to create it, you will be able to reverse it or undo it or release it.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's the thing too, is go back to Dr. Joe Dispenza, because he is a medical doctor, right? And he has done scans on people beforehand, and he has brought them through just pure and utter meditation. He gets them to stop and meditate and go inside. And then he's brought them back and had their scans done again to show that whatever the dis-ease was is now been healed. But the person has healed themselves just by being still. As he said, become no one, nobody, nowhere, no place, no time. Just become, just be. We're human beings, not human doings. And in this rat race that, the world has, there's so many things now. So just be and take time to do the things you love. Take time to love yourself, by yourself. for yourself. And that can be the beginning of your healing journey.
Yeah. And if people, if they can, take it in, what you just said, because a lot of the time in conversations I'm having with people, I noticed that there is really going back to that external belief that it comes from outside, and a lot of anger towards outside, and about events and about things that happened, and traumas, and also massive anger from people about not being able to heal yet. And so this impatience, I think, is basically what you mentioned at the beginning, right? It brings you back to that situation where your cortisol is looping, and you can't come out of it. And what I also say is that it's actually, you have to change your energy from this place of low energy of anger and frustration, so that you can bring the healing. So really listen to that. If you're noticing the pain, the discomfort, the illness, the disease, whatever it is that you're experiencing, know that you can go inside, and by shifting, changing, raising your energy, you can change how you're experiencing this illness or disease, or whatever it is. But you have to make that decision that you're no longer willing to let it be.
Yes, exactly. But there was a time in it when my family were taking care of me because I couldn't take care of myself. And I used to think if I could just step outside my body just to see and feel what's it like to be pain-free. And now I am. And it's the most precious gift you can give yourself. But you can do it when you know how. So anger will fuel the pain. Grief will fuel the pain. All the survival mode will fuel the pain. So if you can elevate yourself, say, watch some movies that will lift and shift your mood. You can lift and shift your mood, but it comes from within you, not from outside of you.
Yeah. I think that's a wonderful line to end for today. Marian, thank you so much for being here with me, and thank you for doing the cards. I am my 0.5 pain is no longer there, so I'm very grateful for that.
And you're not just saying that now. That's important that you're not just saying it for the sake of saying.
I'm not just saying that. It's
okay. Good.
And, I've taken so much from this conversation, and I love everything that you're saying. It's really reminding people of this permission to say, do you know what? No more. Enough is enough. And I've tried so many different things. Let me now try this other thing of me going inside and doing something else. And these cards, maybe they can help too. And
Yeah.
and I think everyone should have them. I definitely find reading the messages, the cards that I open, it's always the right one.
Isn't it amazing? It always resonates. Yeah, it always resonates. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been wonderful being your guest, and I appreciate what you're doing. And keep spreading your message and your words. It's so important, so people can hear what you're doing.
Thank you so much. And I'll just say to anyone watching or listening, please do share, like, comment, this podcast. We are here together to bring this message to the world of healing natural is possible. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.